We shouldn't have got married in January. We should have done it in July like everybody else. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, I thought we would chat about something I've been doing on my blog called Weekly Wins, because honestly, I've been on such a downer this month. I've really struggled with kind of keeping it positive and having a cheery attitude, which usually I mean, I don't know, it goes up and down, but I tend to be able to be a bit glass half full about stuff, and I've really struggled this month. So I thought we would talk weekly wins and have a bit of a chat about kind of shaking off a bad mood. First things first, I started at the beginning of the year. I kind of thought it might do several things for me, sharing this weekly post on my blog. I wanted to bring the blog back. I wanted to kind of commit to something that felt really easy to do, and like not pressured at all. I could literally talk about whatever I wanted within that post. But I also wanted to start journaling, and I wanted to start tracking. This is something I haven't done, and something that now I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, I must start that today. I want to start tracking my moods this year, because I don't, TMI, nothing's TMI. I don't believe in TMI, but I know some TMI. I don't have periods because I have the merino coil, which anytime now I'm going to have removed. If you followed my journey with that, I swear I am going to have it removed soon. There's a video on it if you're interested, because I do think it's fantastic, but also had a really awful experience. But because I've had that for so long, I don't have periods. I can't track my moods that way. So, you know, like sometimes when you might feel like, God, you know, what's wrong with me? I feel so low. I feel like it's not me. I don't have that, oh, it was my time of the month, because I don't have a period. So I don't have a way to physically track where I am in my cycle. So I think this year, what would be a real benefit to me and my mental health will be tracking my moods, so that maybe this time next month I could be like, it was similar. It was a similar vibe this time last month. Maybe this is hormonal. And part of that was I was going to start journaling, which I didn't really do. By journaling, I mean a very small amount of something. I just kind of wanted to check in with myself so that I could potentially work through some stuff, but also look back and track my moods. That was kind of the idea. And the weekly post that I'm doing on my blog kind of felt like it also might help me do something similar, in that I'll be able to track what I was doing at the time, because I'm sharing my kind of peaks of the week. It's almost like, for me, kind of more accessible gratitude journaling. Because I know a few years ago that was all the rage. I mean, it still is. It's still a really good place to start. If you're in a bad mood, if you're kind of feeling like you're really feeling low, it is a really good thing to kind of start from a place of gratitude, because even on my worst, like at my absolute worst, even when the absolute worst thing has happened, there's always something that I can think, but I have this. It's usually my family. You know, all of these things are going wrong. This is, if I lost my job, if we were, like if I was really in a bad way, I would still be able to hold on to, but I've got my family, everyone's healthy. There's something, you know? I think that is always a good place to start. And so I kind of take it back to that. And this weekly wins thing is kind of part of that. And I think if you find gratitude to be a bit like, ugh, you know, it's a little bit like privilege. People don't want to be told that they've got something to be grateful for, because everybody feels like they're in their own struggle. And we are. You're in your own struggle. You are. Everyone has things that they find difficult that somebody else would be like, I wish I had that struggle. And it is a tricky thing to acknowledge the things that we have that we should be grateful for sometimes. And so sometimes people are a little bit like, no, I don't want to do that. So I think if you reframe it as wins, even if you're not kind of having a hard time, just reminding yourself of, oh, these are some things that happened this week that were really good. I think that's a really positive thing to do. It definitely is practicing gratitude, but it's just kind of by a different name. I'm practically doing my makeup in the dark. It's so dark today. I've got kind of like a light over here. I didn't want to put my big lights on because I'm just not feeling like a bright situation this morning. So I don't know what this is going to look like in the end. And I've got to go out. I'm going to look at some cars today. Here's a weekly win that I'm in a position to change my car. I've wanted to change my car for ages. I had a really horrible finance deal, and I got a better one, which basically completely, it's so much better that I can change my car and basically pay no difference. It's going to effectively be interest free in the savings of the deal that I've got at the moment. It's hilarious. Because I am self-employed, it's difficult to get a good rate on borrowing, even though my credit rating, and this will shock you if you know how terrible I am with money, is 99, not 99, that would be funny, it's 999 out of 999. It's, my credit rating's like perfect. It's hilarious. No one's more shocked than me 10 years ago. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But because I got such a better deal, I'm able to change my car, which is great. And I'm going to have a lot of fun finding the car, and that's a win. That's a huge, huge win. That's like an obvious big one. But I wanted to share some that were kind of not so obvious, not so huge, that I'd shared in the posts kind of this year so far. One of them is Milo. So I can actually, something similar is happening today. Wonka has come on, like it's available to purchase. If you watched my vlogs over Christmas, you'll know, potentially you'll know, we loved Wonka. We went to watch it 3 times, and Milo went to see it with school. We're a musical loving, me and Milo specifically are a musical loving people. But we really, really loved Wonka. And I think I'm running out of this, you know. I think this is running low. It's about time, really, because it is a sample size, but it did last me a very long time. Yeah, we went to see it a couple of times, and we were even considering going again, because we've just been listening to that non-stop in the car on the way to school and back again. And it's just come out to be able to purchase, so I'm buying it today, and Milo's really excited to come home, and we're going to watch it together and have some snacks. What I'd put on my blog post at the beginning of the year was that I was really grateful, or considered it a win, that Milo still wanted to come home and watch TV with me. And he's at the age now, I mean, he's 12, he's coming home from school and he's playing Fortnite with his friends, and he's on the phone and they're screaming at each other, and it has happened. The worst has happened. He's becoming a teenager, and I am acutely aware that this time might not last. And when he comes home, it tends to be on a Monday that he is most like, oh yeah, we'll do this today. We've been watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You know, like old Sabrina the Teenage Witch? It's amazing. It holds up. I would recommend give it another go. But we've been watching that together, and I will go out of my way to make sure that I don't have anything that I need to do on a Monday when he finishes school, because I want to be available to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Maybe he won't want to do it. Maybe that day he gets home and he's like, oh, I'm going to call this person, we're going to play this, whatever. Fine. But I want to be available in case he does want to play, because one day he won't. And one of my wins was that after the school break, we kind of were getting back into our routine. I just didn't know whether or not we would fall back into that on a Monday. He comes back from school and we watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but we did. And that's a real peak of the week. If you really, peak of the week, that should have been what I called it. If you really are looking for highlights, because the rest of the week could have been absolutely terrible. It could have been awful. Work was horrible. Falling out with people. Everything could have been awful. But if you look for those little glimmers, that definitely is one. I am getting a little bit concerned about this, what this is going to look like. I mean, it's so dull as well. So maybe it won't be, even if it looks awful, it won't be too bad, because also it's raining, so like I was going to do my hair, but that is just the word/sound of January. It has just sucked. I just posted a vlog by that name. January sucks. It sucks. Absolutely does. I was saying to Lee, like the things that happen around this time of year, my birthday or anniversary, I always feel terrible around those times. And I even look back at pictures and I'm like, I know that sucked. Like I just was in a really bad headspace at that point. And there's no reason for it. There's no specific reason, but something comes over me in January. And I think I almost just want to hibernate till February comes. And even then, my birthday's the 4th of February. It's right at the beginning. It's very difficult to shake off January by the 4th of February. And I am just, blah. So this has been really, really positive for me. I committed myself to, sometimes I probably should, I committed myself to writing this every single Sunday night. I had to sit down and think about things that were good this week. And that is a fantastic exercise that I would recommend. Another weekly win, I've just completely obscured my mirror. Another weekly win that is really achievable was on New Year's Day. Not that you can go back to New Year's Day, but on New Year's Day, we went to the beach. And I've wanted to go to the beach on New Year's Day for years. I don't know why I haven't. I don't know if it's about an hour away. I don't know whether or not Manny was going to like it because he doesn't like wet, dirty outside. He's like an inside dog. He's like, give me the blanket. He's always so annoyed when he's had to go out for a wee in the rain, and he's just like, ugh. Almost like he wants to just be bundled up and hair dried. He does not enjoy. He's not an outdoor dog. So I really didn't know if he was going to like it. I didn't know if everybody else would be miserable because it would be cold on the beach. And I didn't want to do it for me. And then, sometimes, I don't know if this is a mum thing or just everyone. Sometimes when you've got an idea for a thing to do, and then you go there and everyone's in such a bad mood, and then you leave and everyone's in a worse mood than when you set off. And you're like, and it was your idea. I think that's what put me off. I think that is what I was kind of thinking was going to happen. And I was just not into that. I wasn't looking forward to it being a bit of a well, this was your idea. Not that people say that, but there's just a mood in the car on the way home, isn't there? When everyone was cold and miserable and it rained and everything went wrong. I think that in the back of my mind was the thing that stopped me doing it. Anyway, this New Year's Day, we did it and it was great. There were so many people there. Everyone was in a fantastic mood. We're already excited to go again with Manny. He loved it. He kept trying to get back onto the beach when we were taking him home. And in a million years, I would never have said he enjoyed it as much as he did. But it was great. It was fantastic. I was so happy that we'd done it. And it was so achievable. It was almost a bucket list thing. It had become such a, I've always wanted to do this. Why didn't we do it? It was so easy. And I do think that a lot of things that I want to do, I don't do them because I am anticipating, and I've talked about this before, anticipating other people's reactions, moods, feelings. I feel very sensitive to a shift in someone's mood. If you had a really bad day at work and you came home, I would be really on edge. If you said nothing, I would just feel that negative energy. You could be really, really nice and friendly and whatever, but I could just feel the shift in the house when you got in. It's crazy. So I think a lot of what I don't do that I would like to do is trying to avoid. It kind of could be called keeping the peace, but there's no arguments or conflicts. It's kind of more just keeping the peace of the energy. And I really want to work on that this year. I want to just be okay with sometimes other people are not going to be in a good mood. And it's not my job to make them always be in a good mood. And it doesn't have to affect me as much as I allow it to. Speaking of things that I always wanted to do and was put off by various things, I bought some roller skates. So I'm about to be 38 on the 4th of February, as we discussed. I'm about to be 38, and a couple of years ago, maybe in lockdown, I saw that it had become a thing again. People were skating. I did ice skating for 6 grades as a teenager. It was it might not have been 6 years. It might have been less than 6 years, but it was 6 grades. And I stopped when it got to the point of the next grade was competition because I had no interest at all in competing. But it was figure skating that I did. I really, really enjoyed it. And I tell the kids all the time, when you hear about, they say your body is made when you're a teenager, what you're going to be, the muscles, your body remembers. what you did as a teenager and the exercise that you did and the fitness and stuff. My legs, I know they say this about most women, but my legs are so strong. I've got no upper body strength whatsoever. Like, I don't even know if I could save myself from death with my upper body strength. It's so bad. That is like a thing this year. I've got no upper body strength and no mobility whatsoever in my, that's as far as I can move back. When I get in the car, it is called seatbelt. When I get my seatbelt, I can't get it. I have to do this to get my seatbelt. That's been going on for years, probably 10 years. I've got no mobility. My legs, not to lower the tone, but I could probably get my leg behind my head. It's crazy, the difference. And that's because all of any kind of energetic thing, any exercise, fitness, whatever that I did, it was all my lower body. It was all, I suppose maybe the core, but it was all my lower body. My legs are crazy strong. And I do think that it is like a muscle memory thing. So I bought these roller skates. I wanted to do this a few years ago. I wanted to find a group to do it with because I felt like you can't do it by yourself. Everyone's going to think you're an idiot. This is like, you can't roller skate by yourself. You're just going to look like a dick. And I don't know what it was. I saw something and I kind of thought, what are you waiting for? This is not going to get easier as you get older. This is not one of those things that, in 10 years. In 10 years, it's going to be harder than it is right now. Do it now. So I saw a pair of skates that were fantastic. They're pink Coca-Cola skates. If there was ever a pair of skates made for me. I bought them and I went out on them like the next day. I was so happy with myself and that was a win. I didn't just buy them and not use them. I went out straight away. I didn't care that people were probably laughing at me. I went with Milo and Lee and I was they were just walking and I was on roller skates. Of course people are going to stare. That's weird. But I didn't care. I had a great time. I felt awesome and I'm only going to get better at it. The weather's it's been pretty terrible, icy and not ideal. But I'm going to keep doing it. Even if nobody does it with me, I'm still going to keep doing it. And I'm going to love it. I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be a great form of exercise for me in 2024. And I'm just kind of letting go of what will people say? People will laugh. People will think I don't care. I don't care. Life is too short to not do things. I suppose that's it. Life is too short to not do things. And as I said in the vlog at the time, why do we keep putting off fun? Why do we we want to do something? Oh, we'll do that why are we not injecting more fun stuff into our day-to-day lives? Why do we feel like that has to be doled out? Like you have to sparing fun. Why? Why would we not want as much fun as possible? So yeah, I roller skate now. In fact, I'll make this the last because I think this has probably been really, really long. I just kind of thought I'll put the camera on and start chatting with you while I get ready for the day. And this is, I don't even know what this is. But hopefully you found something in it, hopefully. But the last thing I want to mention is, as a small business owner, because me and Karen started our candle business, last year, the success of that business was actually insane to the point of I've just been waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your guys' support, plus strangers finding us online, repeat customer is crazy. People who've bought 5 or 6 times from us, it baffles me, honestly. And so I just have kind of been waiting for it to just all go away because it's been too good. I can't actually believe. So I think that's something that I maybe need to work on, but I have kind of been waiting for it to all go away. And obviously over Christmas, that's gift giving, it's candle season leading up to Christmas. And then January hits, nobody's got any money, no one's buying things for themselves. And it's going logically in the back of my mind. I know, of course, we were not expecting a lot of sales, but the first week of January compared to the last week of December was so stark a contrast that I was like, oh, this is going away. This is going away. I knew it wasn't. Like I say, it's been really, really difficult to hold on to that positive outlook in January. If this was the middle of the year, I probably wouldn't have felt the same, but I was just like, oh yeah, inevitable. This is just going to go away. And then in the last week, it's picked up again and we've had a few £100 worth of sales, which is a lot for January, I feel like. And it's just kind of reminded me, no, it's going to take a dip. It's going to come back. the fact that we've had any sales at all in January actually is probably, I mean, we're already profitable. I was saying this to Karen yesterday because we had a bit of we tried to set up a TikTok shop and ended up spending like £60 on TikTok ads. We don't know how we did it, so we had to just close the shop. So we just lost that money. That's really annoying. But as I said to her, this is a good example actually, it just came completely organically. I said, we've got to take it as a win because we had that money to lose. And most businesses would not be profitable within the first year. We're already profitable. We're already kind of like, that is the business's money. We're not personally losing that money. It's the business's money. You know, it was a hard lesson, but you've got to take it as a win. And I took that as a win, and I took the few sales that we've had in January as a win. We're about to launch our Valentine's collection. It might have already been, do you know what? Just putting it out there, it's probably already sold out by the time you see this. But I found that so easy to just slide into a negative feeling about it. And when I sat down and really thought about the wins of the week, that was one of them. So we're trying to stay positive. I'm going to shake it off. I'm going to shake it off. It's nearly February. I'm going to feel better in February. I'm going to shake it off in time for my birthday. I'm going to try and shake it off in time for our anniversary because that's this Sunday. On our anniversary every year, I've just got this weird melancholy. I don't know, man. January. We shouldn't have got married in January. We should have done it in July like everybody else. I'm going to leave you there because, like I say, it's probably the longest video ever. And I'm going to go and have a look at some cars. Probably going to vlog it, so check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. What I'm feeling, I mean, I'm feeling pretty peppy now, to be fair, but when I'm feeling peppier from the outset, I really want to share with you some stuff that I bought from Vinted. I bought loads of stuff from Vinted this month, and some of it is really, really good. So would you like a Vinted haul? Let me know. I'll see you in the next one, whatever that ends up being.